Today on Beyond.
He was like the guinea pig, he's telling me.
Yes.
Modern medicine couldn't save his life. Can James explain his death? But first, 2 women, 1 man, and an enormous tragedy that destroyed their families. This woman's daughter was married to this woman's brother. He fatally shot her and their 2 children before turning the gun on himself.
I want to contact my daughter and my 2 grandchildren because they were taken from me suddenly. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye or how much I loved them.
I'd like to contact my brother, my sister-in-law, and maybe my niece and nephew, because 5 years ago, apparently my brother had
With 1 shot of the 12-gauge shotgun, he killed all of them and then killed himself.
When, I figured it out, I was just like, I don't even know what I'd done. I know I just run. It's just like, oh, and I thought my own son was, asleep. And I'm like, my God, honey, the kids are dead. That's all I'm just like, they're gone. They're just like dead. It's really hard to put into words what I felt. Why this happened? Maybe a healing of my heart. Maybe my chance to say goodbye. I love him. I want to know I love him.
Using his extraordinary psychic ability to communicate with spirits, he's transformed lives by unlocking mysteries and sharing secrets from the other side. James Van Praagh, best-selling author, renowned medium, and your connection to the world beyond.
Hi, you're Cheryl?
I'm Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And you're Bonnie, yes? Hi, Bonnie, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I know it's a difficult story here. This is very difficult. Your grandchildren were killed, yes.
And
by
my
your
daughter.
And your daughter.
Oh, and my daughter, yes.
And your daughter, by your brother.
Yes.
And then he killed himself, is that right?
Yes.
As far as we
Yes,
know.
as far as we know.
Oh, I know. I know. I know. He's standing right here next to you, your brother. Right? Your daughter's here as well. Did your father and mother also pass over, by the way?
No.
Who's the man here? Did your father and mother? Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's what you wanted to know.
That's what you wanted to know?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're here with your brother. So they've come in with your brother, right? Now, this happened away from your house. I mean, it happened in a different place, didn't it? Yes. It's not close to where you live. Because either a different state, is it, please?
Yes.
Because, again, I'm crossing a state line. I'm
Right.
not sure where. Hold on. Is this towards New York?
Yes.
Was it in New York?
Yes.
Okay. I understand that. Your daughter's here. Okay. Was this his wife?
Yes.
All right. She's saying something about, the wedding vows, through sickness and health and to death do us part. And she said, we're together in our own way because she had this understanding of him. And in its own, I'm not going to judge it, their relationship, she understood him more than anyone did. And throughout his troubled life, because he has a troubled life, she was one of the only ones that really knew who he was underneath all those layers. Okay?
Yeah, that's
You understand that?
Oh, yes.
All right.
Oh, yes.
I want to ask you, is there another brother also in the family that you have, please?
Yes.
And was there someone who had some problem with the law at one time? Was your brother in prison at one point?
Yes, he was.
Okay. Because I'm being told that here.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was a lot of anger with your brother.
Right.
Okay. And either he stayed longer in the prison than he should have.
Right.
You understand that? Because
Yes,
he's telling
I
me
do.
that.
Yes, I do.
Okay. He's telling me this. He keeps on talking about it was wrong. It was wrong. It was wrong. And he's going to have to pay for it.
Right.
And he's going to pay for it. And he doesn't want to bother anyone with his problems. He's very much a loner in many ways because he goes off by himself.
Right. Yes,
And he goes in the
does.
woods. He
Yes,
likes to go in the
does.
woods by himself.
Yes, he does.
Understand that?
Yes, I do.
Because he said, whenever I had a problem, I used to go by myself in the woods and sit by myself.
He does.
Okay? I let him sit there and have a cigarette too, okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit there just like this, staring at somebody, staring at like a tree falling down.
that's him.
And that's what I'm telling you, that's what he shows me. And he's having a lot of time to reflect now, okay? Understand. And was there trouble with kids? with his kids?
Yeah.
They lost their first son to SIDS.
Okay.
The second one, they almost lost to SIDS, and he
Okay.
wore a monitor
Okay.
for 10 months, and
Okay.
the little girl wore a monitor too.
They all
Okay.
were.
He felt it was his fault that that baby
Right.
died.
Yes.
And I think in many SIDS cases, the parent might have that reaction.
Right.
Even in normal, but deaths with children, that is a
Yes.
natural reaction. But especially for someone who doesn't have a strong sense of who they are,
Right.
right? And a strong security of themselves, it affects them even more.
Yes.
Okay? I want to ask you if you wanted some specific, anything else you'd like to ask maybe?
I would like to know really why, why this happened.
Why?
I know that he was hurting, but just why? If
I think, Bonnie, some people can't handle pain, and some people want to get out of it because they can't handle it. They can't deal with it. And I don't think he had the mechanism to handle it. And I think that's
got
why.
over it.
I think I know he felt guilty over this baby's death.
Yes.
And I think that's what started the ball rolling. And I think him and his father had a very bad relationship. And one more thing, they're showing me rowing a boat. He's rowing.
Right.
He's rowing, okay? And he said, I spend a lot of time rowing on a lake. He's rowing, a rowboat. Your brother, I know it sounds weird, but that's
We
what
gave him a rowboat.
you gave him a rowboat.
gave him a
Well, that's what
rowboat.
that means, okay. I'm seeing this rowboat. All right, I'll understand that, thank you. And your daughter's with him, the kids are in the rowboat. Oh, it's a beautiful image. I see the kids in the rowboat. The wife is up front, he's back, and they're rowing.
That sounds peaceful. And,
It does.
That's nice, I like that. That's where they are.
oh, that's good.
Okay, God bless you, I'll leave you with that, all right?
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sweetie. I'm also going to tell you, he feels as if that baby that died was his fault.
James said because of his first child, because of what happened with SIDS, he was still grieving, and that is why he did what he did. How do you feel about that?
He wasn't grieving. He was keeping it all in.
He never talked about
He
it.
never talked about it. If he did anything, he was always supporting Sharon, but of course she took it very hard, but Ken never actually grieved.
Some people can't handle pain, and some people want to get out of it.
He didn't show it. I mean, he'd have, he got depressed just before everything got going here when he killed everybody. I mean, he was depressed.
I'm looking at you two, and I can see you're very close.
Yeah.
How did you stay close through this tragedy?
Because, it wasn't her, it wasn't me.
It was.
We're both touched.
I see the kids in the rowboat. The wife is up front, he's back, and they're rowing.
They were family. They loved each other. They lived and died together. Why wouldn't they be together in the afterlife? Makes perfect sense to me.
So you've moved on from what Ken did.
Well, it's been 5 years. I mean, if you don't move on, you stay stagnant. And I know my daughter well enough to know that she wouldn't want me to be angry at Ken or, and she wouldn't want me to withdraw from life. Nobody loved life any more than Sharon did.
She did.
I mean, she had a ball everywhere she went.
did.
Very
was-
exuberant woman.
Well, I'm glad we can end it with a smile on both your faces. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
You're
much.
very welcome.
Still to come, a dream doctor unravels the mysteries of the sleeping mind.
I will dress him as a woman, they won't recognize him, and I can get him out safely.
Then I
To
know
this day.
exactly what your dream is about. Oh, Lisa, this is so interesting.
The secrets of interpreting your dreams revealed. Plus,
With a C initial, I'm not sure it's a Chris.
James's reading turns into a family reunion.
That's my mother.
Find out who else makes an appearance and why. Next, on Beyond. We now join James in the audience.
I know that there's a young man, I believe, who passed over, who's a brother of someone here, and he was physically handicapped. Does that make sense to someone? Okay. Was he in a wheelchair at one point, or was he retarded? What was wrong with him?
He had different physical problems.
Okay. I want to ask you, was he very young when he passes over? Like, how old was he?
Early 30s.
Okay. Was there a series of operations or a series? Okay. That's where I want to go to, okay? Is this your mother, the mother, or the
Mother, sister.
mother, sister, family? Stand up, family, because he's coming in. You knew he was going to be here. Yes. Okay. Are you a friend, the lady in the orange?
Yes. I was an aunt.
You're the aunt, you're the sister. Okay, okay. So I want to bring him here for you, okay? He's talking to me about either being on a ventilator at one point or having trouble with breathing. You understand this? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay? So he no longer has that condition, and you must know that your prayers have been answered indeed. Okay? Because he is in perfect physical health. And you need to know that because he said, my family came here asking that question. Is that right?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
And did he ever get grafts? Was there
No,
some-
a lot of scarring, though, from
was there talk about
surgeries.
getting skin grafts or something, or
On
maybe
his
we should do that?
On his ankle, but they didn't think that.
Okay,
it
but
would
there was
take-
talk about it because he's telling me there was talk about skin grafts. And where's the sister?
I'm sister.
Okay.
Sister.
I want to go back to a memory, and he's a kid, and he's pulling a wagon, or you're pulling this like a wagon type of thing.
Yes.
Understand this?
Yes.
He has this memory of his sister and him with a wagon.
Yes.
Okay? That's what he's giving me here. And he's talking about being on medications, all different types of medications, and liquid medications, and pill medications, and all this sort of thing. And they tried different tests on him, and they tried different, he was like the guinea pig, he's telling me.
Yes.
That he was a guinea pig of medical science, right? You understand this? And he said to me that there are actually a case study, he was a case study. Right? Isn't that something? Yeah, because he's showing me a ream of paper, and it was a case study.
Yes.
And
I have
he's telling me that he came back here on this earth, part of his mission was to do this work so that others in the future lives can benefit from his death. You understand that? So in a way, like a martyr, and that was his mission, was to come back. Because I feel that there was also something he's going on about here with heredity had a part in it.
Yes.
Okay? Because it seems like it was in the DNA blueprint.
Exactly.
Yes.
And he's telling me that even in the case study, it is listed in there about the DNA blueprint. Correct? He's talking to me about a friend of his that passes over also. And I'm not sure if it was like a school day friend, but it's like a male friend who passes over, and it's like goes back in school time. They knew each other. Not sure if you know about it.
Not aware at this
Okay.
point.
With a C initial. I'm not sure if it's a Chris.
How about a Chris?
There you go. What's the Chris? Is that your brother?
That's my mother, who was, our families were like one, and my mom was Chris, who died a year after Marty did.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
Chris,
So that's the Chris. You can stay standing. That's fine. So that's your mother. But is there a male with her then? Like another male that would be a contemporary of the brother here?
I don't know.
Okay, hold on. Well, Chris comes here with the boy, so I don't know who this boy is. I don't know if you lost someone in your family, like a brother, or there was another baby that died.
Baby.
Thank you. Oh, my God. I don't know how to figure it out because, I mean, I know what I'm hearing here. I don't know where it belongs. And you all know each other then?
Chris is her mother, and she lost a child. So
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, she has your baby.
I know that.
Okay.
I know that.
Okay, good. And I want to talk about the brother again, coming back to your brother, all right? I gotta tell you, he can run. He wants to run, and he's able to run again, okay? Because he's able to breathe normally and be able to run.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got to really give you that because he keeps on talking about it. I'm going to leave you that. He said his time's up. I'll leave you with that, okay? God bless you. Okay.
Okay, I don't usually come in the audience to do validations, but you're such a big posse. You would never fit in my little area.
He was a case study.
What did James mean when he said he was involved in a case study?
There is some family blood clotting abnormalities, and the medical profession's never been able to figure it out, and my brother suffered for 20 years with this condition.
He's talking to me about either being on a ventilator at one point or having trouble with breathing.
He had a lot of health problems. The last time in the hospital, it was his left lung that collapsed. So that was the trouble breathing.
I don't know if you lost someone in your family, like a brother, or there was another baby that died.
My baby died actually earlier, and Marty was there, had died before, a year before, and then the morning that my daughter Brooke died, he came to Stacy actually in a dream and told her that it was okay and that he would be there to take Brooke and that she'd be all right.
Next.
I only had the dream one time, but it was real vivid, and I don't really remember my dreams all the time.
What's the hidden meaning of this man's dream? And what do your dreams say about you? Find out next on Beyond.
Well, Welcome back. Joining us now is a behavioral therapist who helps people analyze their dreams. She's also the author of Dream Power. Please, everyone, let's welcome to the show Cynthia Richmond. Welcome back.
Great to see you.
Yeah. Now, can you dream yourself a husband, or I'm serious? Can you make something happen if you think about it before you fall asleep? Can you dream about it?
You can certainly incubate your dream, and you can ask questions and do problem solving. I mean, our grandmas used to say, "Why don't you sleep on it?" Before making an important decision, right? And you can do that. You can incubate the dream. You write the question down. What is in my best interest with respect to my love life, or whatever it is we want to know? Then remember your dream. Tell yourself to remember your dream.
Okay.
When you wake, write that dream down. Whatever it is, it might seem totally unrelated, but as you interpret it, you'll start getting information that will be very helpful.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got a guest who wants to meet you and talk to you about this. His name is Anthony, and he has a very unique dream. Let's take a look at this. We want you to analyze it.
All right.
I have this dream where I'm in this Toyota pickup truck and I'm sitting across from this probably 78 to 85-year-old woman. She's definitely old. It got worse when I figured out that I knew she was my girlfriend or my wife, one of the two. The whole dream's a bit weird to me.
Please let's welcome Anthony to the show. Now, Cynthia, what does the old woman in Anthony's dream mean?
I wanted to ask Anthony about that too. Did that woman remind you of anybody in your real life?
Well, it's awful because the old woman does remind me of this 9th grade girlfriend. I tried to find her when I was in college, and I could never find her, and then I ended up finding her in a restaurant, and she was a waitress, and I wasn't all that excited, and I never saw her again. And
it's very, very interesting that he's making the connection with the old girlfriend that he spent a lot of time searching for. Now she's here, but she's old. It's like too late for the relationship, which is in reality, by the time you did find her, it was kind of too late because you had lost interest in her.
Could this have been some strange sort of longing for the past, for what was?
Well, that sounds interesting. I mean, I was going to ask Anthony if he ever had any thoughts about reincarnation, because part of dreaming is mystical, and part of it is very scientific and psychological. And there's that one little element of it that, what if this person that he saw in the dream, who was an 80-year-old woman who he could see feature by feature, but he wasn't someone he recognized, except he knew it was someone else. What if that was somebody that he knew in the past?
I think it's probably more so, you know, losing something and not getting it back than
Yeah, I think that was really it. It was that when you finally found her, maybe you were reflecting back on her. When you finally found her, you realized that, you know, it had gone too long.
Okay.
And so she might as well have been 80 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got someone in the audience, actually, who has a question for you. So let me just run over here. Can you stand up for me, please? Thank you very much. And tell us, what is your name?
Thank you. Hello, I'm Carol.
Okay, what is your dream?
A number of years ago, as my father was dying with pancreatic cancer, about 3 nights before he passed, I had a dream, and it was in a very real setting of, like in a coliseum. There were thousands of people there, and they were going to murder my father. And I was struggling in this dream, how was I going to get him out alive? Wow. And then it was like the light bulb effect. I will dress him as a woman, they won't recognize him, and I can get him out safely.
Wow. Carol, when did you have this dream?
That was 1994, 3 days before my father died.
You were in charge of your father in the dream. You had to save him.
Right.
Did you have that sense in your waking state that, you know, near the end, is there something that, were you in charge of taking care of him, or?
We spent like 24 hours a day with him. The big struggle that I had is he would never discuss his impending death. That was the very difficult thing, and that's what I struggle with.
Then I know exactly what your dream is about. Oh, Lisa, this is so interesting. Women are so much more generally willing to discuss feelings. And your father sounds like a more old-fashioned guy who was a little more quiet and shut in and not so comfortable sharing that. So your feeling in your dream was, I wish he could be more like a woman. I wish I could put the exterior of a female so that he could share his feelings, because I would feel like I was saving him if he could express his feelings to me. We would have a beautiful closure.
Thank you. I hope that helped. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you
very much. Cynthia, great job. If you'd like a chance for a reading with James, send a letter to Beyond, P.O. Box 4399, Hollywood, California, 90078. something very, very strange in a reading
Lisa,
today
I
on the
always say
show.
strange
even
things, that's
more
part
so,
of the show,
that
I
just
think.
had me thinking. I'm wondering. It just made no sense to me. The woman who was killed by her husband, he killed the kids. You said they're together.
And himself.
In beyond.
In spirit.
Yes,
in
they're
spiritual
together.
dimensions.
They're getting along.
When we pass into that dimension, there's a different type of understanding, perhaps, that we really can't see from this perception of this level that we're on. And maybe there's an opening of consciousness, a different perception on what a soul is and what they did and why they did it, and a sense of forgiveness and love that we don't understand on this level. So I think that's really where it comes from.